Hello, everyone. Welcome back to FPL in the Trenches. It is Frontline in the Trenches. I am your co-host, Scott. Joining me, as always, is BeerMe. How are you, BeerMe?
I'm doing pretty good, Scott. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. We both say that. We're both tired. We're always tired.
hmm
We just talked beforehand, but it's... I want to say it's like this time of year, but this is always busy. There's always something, but... No, it's been a bit of a draining time with the real world stuff. This is January 19th, so like the Jay Briscoe stuff has just happened, and it's a major bummer and stuff like that. So yeah. And there's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of trying stuff right now. So yeah, not to dwell on stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's hard, but this is I skipped over completely. This is the Frontline Prediction League, Frontline League on Twitter. Frontline Prediction League is the YouTube channel here. Like, favorite, subscribe, all that fun stuff. This is the recap show for Hard to Kill, which happened this past weekend, which seems like forever ago at this point now. It was about a week ago, to be honest. It was Friday the 13th, and this is Thursday the 19th, so that's part of why there. But it is kind of our last. It was our first show of the year, and it's the last stop before the Royal Rumble, which is coming up. And there's just a lot of work going into that right now, so fun stuff with that. I've got the video working on. I'm working on like the Rumble write-up itself, because that's huge, and there's always a lot of prep work to do with probably the first like 9 or 10 entries before any eliminations really happen. Like I try to structure out stuff like that, and then things kind of place from there and know where I hope it goes, just to peel back the curtain a bit. But the Rumble,
Yeah, that's got to be a pain in the ass to write.
it is.
It's got to be fun, but at the same time, you're like, oh God, what did I get myself into? You know what I mean?
What to give a little bit of behind the scenes on last year's, I had kind of the first, like I said, the first 9 or 10 kind of worked out where they'd be, and then when we get the scores in, that informs me on when people are getting eliminated. So if the first person
Right.
eliminated is like number 4, easy, someone takes them out right then and there, right? Plus, I know who did really good, so I know who can eliminate them. You know what I mean? And to kind of build that structure that way. When someone early does really good, they're an Iron Man. So like Monkey Bong had that last year, where like 54 minutes I think we ended up having him, and CT was over an hour.
Yeah.
So yeah, CT was number 2 when he lasted to like number 26. Like, okay, you're going all the way then. So what do we do with that? So things like that are super fun to do. It's kind of fun the records end up happening, because I'm doing a time thing with it, like it's every 2 minutes. I know that I think the real one's 90 seconds this year, but we're doing 2 minutes. And when number 4 comes out, it's 2 minutes plus. So I have the time. So this person goes out at this time, and it might sound weird, but I'm in my head picturing how long they're there. Then the next person comes out, and picturing, so if they're in there for 3 people when they go, that's 6 minutes plus, right? Like it sounds silly, but it helps inform me for what happens where. And if someone comes in on a house of fire and they get shut down and then stuff happens, well, I know that's enough for a little bit more action before the next buzzer goes off. You know, like it is crazy, because there's 30 of those and it keeps going. But super happy with this one, because we've got so many surprises in this one. As we revealed, there's I think 9 confirmed surprise competitors in the Rumble.
Yeah,
There were
pretty
10
wild.
eligible, and like if you watch that video, which came up a little while back, there's like the third third reserve is the 10th. Excuse me. So yeah, it's kind of fun there. Again, that video was not the order of entry into the Rumble itself next weekend. It's you're in, and the entry itself was recorded. That people have seen it. It's set for February 1st, which is after the Rumble. It's not supposed to be the reveal, because the reveal is during the night of. When you're watching the Royal Rumble and you're in our voice chat and our live event chat, there's going to be pictures coming up every 2 minutes with every new entry, or every 90 seconds, I guess, with this one. But during the first Rumble of the night, when the first person comes out, we'll have a graphic saying who number 1 is. And then when the second person comes out, graphic. And then that goes through the whole situation. It's been super fun. We've done it the past couple of years, so it's really, really fun to see. My favorite was still when Matt Zion came back out after being away from like all JRPL stuff, right? Like it was like, oh my God, we got Matt. That was one of the biggest kind of gets we had. It was really, really fun. So
Yeah.
that was awesome. And to see reactions to that, it's a rare thing you can create with something like this. So that is part of what we've got planned for this one. Matt was eligible, just to throw a name out there, but he wasn't drawn. But his European champion opponent is. The overall order, it is, like I said, we record it just for posterity because it is a matter of who gets when and where they fall as far as for points, bonuses, stuff like that. And the way that works is, I'm going to get it wrong, but the basic idea is like the first 4 or 5 get no bonus, and then like 5 to 10 get a bonus, and then it's incremental toward the end. So like the last person gets a 6 bonus or an 8 bonus. I forget what it actually is. Forgive me, but it's in the rules thing. That's the idea. The later you are, the better off you are. But if you do really good, and there's always a lot of bonuses with the Rumble, you can still do well from any position. And it's structured to be that way where you can go the distance. The JRPL Rumble's not the crap on it, but we modified it from that because really there was no real chance to win, because if someone late did good, you have no hope. And I get that's kind of the idea, but if you did good from early, you still really had no hope the way the bonuses were structured. At least, that's kind of how I understood it, because I didn't really dig into that much either, and we as a committee kind of just revamped it. So that's more like War Room talk. I don't know what I'm talking about that, but we try to make it better, more even, but still, number 30. Well, to be that point, number 30 hasn't won yet. Payne won from 19, and Hawk won from 28. So nobody from the first half, and nearly nobody from the first 2/3 have won, but that 19 sneaks in there. So we'll see what happens this year. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But we got to get there. That's next week talk. That's stuff for next week. This week, it's hard to kill. And those results came out on, I think it was Sunday, after Friday the 13th. And it's a house show, so it's not as like fully in-depth type stuff, but it did have a title match, the first one of the year. James Blake retained the FPL European Grand Prix Championship over Matt Zion. And it was looking close there for a while until it all fell apart for Matt. He was winning for a good long while. But James Blake did retain. I think that definitely solidifies him going forward. I don't recall exactly, and I say it this way because I know we have announcements coming up, and I think part of the matches we're talking about are these, but Supercard of Honor was announced, so the European title will be defended there, not at WrestleMania or Stand and Deliver. If there wasn't an ROH show in there, it would have been on Mania. That's the one kind of main show the European title would be on, because all of the titles are on that in our thoughts. But we got a house show right next to it. Boom, there it is. I think it's going to be defended at one more before that. Maybe not. I don't think there is one, because Revolution... No, Revolution is a main show.
No, Revolution is.
And Rebellion's after, so I think that's it. So yeah. So Blake is on the road to WrestleMania. His challenger will be decided upcoming. Crystal Lake Fight Pit submission match. Jonathan C.T. Martin defeated BeerMe Jesus, 36-34. BeerMe, what happened?
It's kind of sickening, actually. All right, I'm just gonna give you a quick history lesson on these with CT.
Yeah.
My first match, I was gonna put my one on Rich Swann. I had all in my mind made up until the day of. I put it on the Briscoes, and I guessed every other match right except for that match. Second time, I had it marked out as I was going to put Alexander at the top, Jordan Grace, and I was going to put Speedball. Day of, I top block Speedball, and he loses to Frankie Kazarian. And then we tie. And then this time, I had everything written down in my book, and the last bonus question was who was going to eat the pin in that 6-man. And I had down Alan Angels. He ended up eating the pin. I would have tied. But I switched at the last minute to Mike Jackson. That and the women's six woman getting thrown out hurt me too, because I'm like 90% sure the heels were going to win, and it just didn't happen. So that kind of screwed me too. And Mickey James winning. I had it as the day went on. I had a feeling that was actually going to happen, and then once Masha Slamovich won, I knew it was over for me. But yeah, I lost. I believed in Joe Hendry. He looked like it was a good move, and then the goat came out. It was like, we're gonna restart this match, and I was like, oh, we're back. So I wish I would have won, because if I would have won that match, we would have had like the greatest thing ever happen. But I'm not going to tell you what it is, because it's never going to happen. So.
Oh,
But
for the
if you're
cinematic?
in that chat,
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not. I
Yeah, if
wasn't,
you're-
so yeah.
Oh, if you're in the chat, you would know what we were going to do if I actually ended up winning that match. I was going to, send something very special to my friend, but
Oh, boy.
it didn't happen. It didn't happen. So.
Well, just
But
have
yeah,
to
I lost.
rematch it somewhere down the line, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but I couldn't believe that. And honestly, I know that we're not reviewing the Impact show. It was a really good show.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot. Steve Macklin is coming for that title, but
Yep.
that's besides the point.
Toronto. And yes, Rebellion in Toronto. You know I'm hyped about that. Because Montreal,
He's-
I'm excited, but Rebellion's in Toronto. That's my actual hometown.
Steve's got to win it. Come on, he's
Alexander's
gotta win it.
probably losing. Yeah, he probably is.
In Canada. Oh.
In Toronto. He's from Bolton, Ontario, which is part of Toronto. It's like this massive, like New York has Queens. He's from Toronto. So yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That was great.
I can't wait. Yeah. Congratulations to CT sliding onward and upward.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Sliding downward.
So
there we
Casket hardcore match. I beat Captain Krulik's Black Will. I'm very happy with that. I was again worrisome stuff for a while there, but very happy with how that turned out. Obviously, very happy with that build,
Yeah.
and everything we did was fun because he reached out after on trenches. I think you suggested. I mean, Krulik's would be cool. He's the Undertaker, and then he reached out and was
Yeah.
like, "I'm game." So we did it. So yep.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah. Plus, since he's Taker and you're Bret Hart, it works out.
Yeah. We worked in the story. The moment I realized I can, do my dive out to the ring over the casket and brawl there for a bit, yeah. So that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
I'll absolutely be having more matches with him down the line. That's going to be a thing. That's going to be fun. Chef Urban, the world champion, did not get pinned by the pinner of champions, Lexi Briggs, beating her 27-26. It was close, but there you go.
Very close.
The GMSG beat JJ Rocky 42-20. That was not close. And that's how this show went a couple times. So there you go. Broken Nerd beat Josh Dionio 45-38. That's interesting considering that's a former world champ versus the man who's contending for it. Again, house show, doesn't matter. That one's a bit of a weird one because that match was not supposed to happen. It was supposed to be Nerd versus, I'm forgetting offhand, and JD versus an opponent. Their opponents both no-showed, which sucks. It is unfortunate.
Oh, wow.
But the easy math was put them together. Right? We had two matches with two opponents missing. We put them together. Admittedly, they've had matches a lot. So it happens. It's regretful a little bit in that way, but Nerd won. Again, though, it's a house show. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It does not affect JD's momentum truly when you really get down to it for the world title. But, I mean, in storyline mode, it's a thing. So, yeah. Watson Rules, Red beat Static 31-13. And I think that's Red's first Watson Rules and won it handily, so very happy there. Ralantando beat the Alpha Dog 39-19. And by the way, I'm going to say it a billion times, but the Wheel hates Alpha Dog. He's not been
Really
drawn
does.
for a Royal Rumble. And if you go back and watch that video, we were very, very angry at the Wheel. I don't know what we need to do to get him in there, because we don't want to, it's a fudge thing and you're in guaranteed. We don't do that. But, it should have accidentally happened by now. Right?
Alpha Dog versus the Wheel match.
Statistically, he should be in there. It's the feud of the year, really. Let's be clear. Feud of the decade.
Mm-hmm.
Alexander McKennedy did defeat James Costner 38-28. Interesting that an American champion beat a world champion, and that's exactly what happened with Nerd and JD, but fun stuff. Danny Lit Jordison beat Dion Blade. Danny and Kurt Colt are going after McKennedy, who won, keep that in mind, and Blade. And they're going for those tag titles at the Rumble. And Danny beat Dion.
Dude, the story, if they win, will be so good.
Again, house show, doesn't matter. But the story that
No,
you get
no.
to write with the moments, it's so good. Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just, these are those beats that don't matter but are super fun. Non-title match, Ash did beat CJ Hawk. So, I mean, he didn't retain or anything, but he wouldn't have lost it. But it was by a point. BeerMe special, 34-33.
Mm-hmm.
Bastion beat the Midnight Rider in another BeerMe special, 40-39. Is that close? He almost had him.
Yeah.
He almost had him. I was actually talking to Lee the other day. He is on such a better run than I am right now towards titles. It's just embarrassing. It's like, yeah.
Hey, new year, new you, you know?
Hey, I won. On the right path.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
In a rock off, Smooth Rock beat Supreme Rock 40-29. Sheriff Dog beat Wookie 21-18. Jason Blades beat Mr. Glee 41-36. Monkey Bong beat Michael Marsh 28-27. Monkey Bong got another win.
Bong.
I know, house show, but still, it's like, look at that happen. Look at that. Rate Wrestle beat Kurt Cult. Bad momentum for Kurt Cult on the far side of things, but 32-17. CM Carlito beat Mad Elite Titan 41-18. That might be the biggest gap right there. Papa Snooch beat El Cid 28-27. The Arbiter beat Mers 34-10. And then the Gaffer beat Dahlia and Mr. X 26-19-17. We have a debut for Mr. X having his first FPL match. There's no avatar yet. You get him after your third, so that'll come. As well, same for Dahlia. I think that's 2 now. Carlito, Alpha Dog, and the Rider had their 50th matches. That is happening for some people who might have missed a show here and there. There's coming up. Papa Snooch won his 10th. McKennedy and Rate Wrestle won their 25th. The Gaffer won his first triple threat. Bastion, I have to read this one out loud. You can buy Danhausen a blimp with those points. Accumulate a total of 2,000 points in FPL matches. I think he might be the first to have that. I don't recognize that one, or saying that one during any of these results before, because I don't remember that one, but there we go. So,
and people say he's undeserving of, shots. Just throwing it.
Well, the best part right now, though, is he's getting shots, but he's losing them.
That's true.
That's with his heel turn. The storyline, that's how I want to write it, and I love that it's happening, right? It's like,
right.
Because you'd think, now he's going to win. He's going to cheat to win. Nope. He doesn't win. It's fun stuff. I love it. The Kickoff show did have some details like Mr. X and Dahlia, stuff like that. We've got the non-title match, Ash and Hawk going there as well. Danny and Dion with their match with Kennedy and Costner. Ralentendo and Alpha Dog, Red and Static, of course, as well. Ash and the Midnight Rider signed their Royal Rumble contract. So we're trying to put more of these kind of moments in here, too. I've literally got a moment planned for backstage at Montreal. Regardless of what my match is. I've got it in my head.
Right.
It's like, we're in Canada, I'm doing a thing. So that's that. So stuff like this is good to see with these storyline ideas. To get some of the character chat in here. Not that this was written by them, to be fair. But the idea of just like, you're watching a show, and it's not just a matter of those things I went through. It's worth reading the whole thing to see this stuff, including eventually seeing things like the King of the Ring bracket. That's in here as well. Or James Costner hijacking the show, right? Like, it's a lot of fun to see this stuff. There's my casket match. Yeah. And then, of course, the Crystal Lake fight bit. I mean, come on. And then the European Championship. Matt Zion in the main event! Can you believe it? So, yeah. That is FPL Hard to Kill. Please go read that. If you're on the Discord page, you go down to the results. You can see it in there. You can also go over to the events page for match bookings and see the upcoming show, which is what I've got right here. Boom. Royal Rumble. That is next. So, BeerMe, the Royal Rumble is going to be crazy, right? Like, I don't know what to expect out of this. It's going to be absolutely bonkers. Let's see. I actually don't have any announcement for the Rumble now that I look at it. My stuff is for after that. What do you have?
Okay. I have one match.
You have Rumble? Okay.
And it will be on. Yeah, and it will be on the Kickoff show.
Okay.
It will be a Watson Rules match. And it will be you taking on El Cid.
Okay. I had completely forgotten about having that match. But I am on the Watson Rules crusade because even if I don't get it in Montreal, I want that title. You know I do. So
right.
It's not stopped. It just might not be in Montreal. I got to win that match. I have to. I mean, I can just win the Rumble. I'm in it.
That's a better match.
Right, Yeah.
But,
yeah. So we're going to go through the Rumble details next week, obviously, because that's the week of the Rumble. I know the picks page will probably be out after NXT, just in case, because you never know. With that one, they might have some stuff, because NXT might be involved again. But it's better safe than sorry, right? But there is a 30-man Rumble, 30 Superstar Rumble, keep that in mind. Urban versus JD, Escobar versus Ralentando, Ash versus the Midnight Rider, MBPA versus Light of the Cult. All 4 of those titles are being defended there. Tag, American, Canadian, and World. Escobar, I'm pulling for you, but I know Ralentando, man, if he got it back and I got to face him, the first ever champ, that'd be pretty sweet. But Escobar, dude, come on. The King of the Ring does kick off as well, though. It's James Blake versus CJ Hawk. James Costner versus Smooth Rock, Jonathan C.T. Martin versus Roman Pierce, and Bastion versus Broken Nerd, all in the first round. Those are all crazy matches, and I look forward to seeing all those and how they play out. Also, the Strays in a 6-man tag, Harper, Marsh, and Rock versus Symphony of Destruction, JJ, Sherf Dog, and Payne. And then I'm on the kickoff, like I said. But, we got Vengeance Day. We got another show to talk about here on February 4th, which is like a week later. So, Vengeance Day is this one here. Boop. And it's Vengeance Day. So, at Vengeance Day, we have currently announced a Falls Count Anywhere hardcore match. La Familia, Sebastian Escobar, Dedrick Cyrus, and the Alpha Dog are facing the Operation, Rate Wrestle, Smooth Rock, and Theodore Dr. Zeus Geisel. Also, FBU, Bastion, BeerMe Jesus, that's you, and the GMSG, your friend of mine, versus Symphony of Destruction, JJ Rocky, James Blake, and Josh Dionio. That's all that's announced right now. And I'm about to announce something. So, what I've got to announce, BeerMe, is that Vengeance Day will see the final defense of the FPL Continental Tag Team Championship before WrestleMania. So, whomever the champions are after the Rumble will have a defense at Vengeance Day. And then that's it till Mania. So that's that one. Do you have anything to announce for Vengeance Day?
I have 3 matches.
I got nothing. I have 2. I realize down below I have 2 matches. So you got 3. So you start and we'll alternate. What do you got?
All right. Okay, I'll start with this one. You're a friend of mine. Well, yeah, you're a friend of mine, the Midnight Rider. He will be taking on Monkey Bong.
Ooh.
Both are on, well, Lee's going for a title, Monkey Bong's on a roll.
He's in there, yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, Lee, he could win that belt and then Monkey Bong beats him on a main show. Right?
Yeah.
The monkey could skyrocket, so...
Could.
You never
Plus,
know.
it's just an interesting matchup of their pick bases.
Oh, yeah. I love it. When you
serious.
think of that, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Lee would legitimately hate Space Monkey, the wrestler. So let's just, that just makes it even funnier. So yeah. I've got Ash versus Roman Pierce for Vengeance Day.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Again, non-title. More detail on that in a little bit as we get toward the chamber. But yeah, Ash versus Roman Pierce. That is a big one, and that's a good one. So, what have you got? We'll talk about who we think is going to win these when we get into February. Don't worry. We'll get there.
All right. Well, I have Jonathan C.T. Martin sliding on in here. He's going to be taking on Chef Urban.
Oh, that's getting redone, isn't it? That's some World Championship stuff going on there. That's ooh.
Makes sense. Vengeance Day.
Yep. And I mean, CT gets a win over the world champ if he still is. That's pretty crazy. That could be good.
Yeah.
I will announce the match I've got here. It's Mod Step 1-on-1 with James Costner.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, Mod Step looking to keep going back on track, and Costner looking to get things. I mean, I want to say back on track because things were rocky after the Antidote stuff, but he's been doing good. So like, it's not like he's getting back on track, but just like realigned, I guess is the better way. Like,
right,
he's winning, but he's looking for that direction. He's looking for that goal. So, I think Mod Step's in trouble. Just to say that. Yeah. Mod Step's hard to bet against, but Costner's Costner, and he's one of the best there is. So yeah. What's your last one though?
My last one is match of the night. Scott, that's you.
Hey.
And Redhead 12.
Hey, it's my girl.
We're taking on Annex Asylum,
Oh.
Static, F and Cruex Blackwell.
Ah!
A Valentine's Day First Blood Hardcore Street Fight.
It's so romantic.
Right.
Well, that goes back to the second ever FPL show, which was like the date night where we had the match with RGX and Rate Wrestle in the restaurant, and it was like a restaurant date night street fight. Oh god, it's Static and Cruex. Oh my god. Yeah, it's good. Yep. We're not really tagging anymore, but I mean we gotta hear, right? So yeah. And then the anniversary's coming up in March. Revolution. Oh god. Okay. I scroll down. Oops! I just realized that says Vengeance Day 2023 is February 4th, 2022. Oops! You gotta change that. CT will see that and he'll laugh. It'll be a good laugh. Also, February, CT, check the dates. They say 2022 on the years. The events don't. That's fine. All right, next up, boom. It's Elimination Chamber. Look at that graphic. BeerMe, you can't see it, but it's an Elimination Chamber, but the middle part's white and the side parts are red, like the Canadian flag, because it's in Montreal. And it's got the Canadian title belt and the American title belt. And actually, it's flipped, depending how you're looking. Yeah! Elimination Chamber with the old Saudi graphic up top. We'll update that, don't worry. But as you can see here, the FPL American Championship match, there's 6 names. That is because the 2023 Elimination Chamber match will be for the FPL American Championship. Participants in that match will be announced here on Trenches at a later date. So, Ash or the Midnight Rider will defend against 5 others in the Elimination Chamber. And my God, I want Lee to walk into Montreal with the American Championship. Are you kidding me? That sounds pretty great to me. Yeah, the American title defended in Canada. Bring it. Let's go. You know, it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
The world title will also be defended, as will the FPL Canadian title. And the other note I have for that is that the Elimination Chamber will see the final defenses of these titles. The world title, the Canadian title, and the American title before WrestleMania. That makes sense, but that's the long way of saying there's no title defenses that stand and deliver. It's the day before, so this is it. These people will be the champions going in. So whoever wins that Elimination Chamber is the American champion at Mania. Whoever wins at Vengeance Day will be the tag champions at WrestleMania. And whoever wins the world title, which is defended here, and the Canadian title, which I wish I was challenging for, but I'm not. Like, no. Will be the champion going into WrestleMania. And those challengers at Mania will be decided as we get there, too. Like, these matches will flesh out. It might not be a full-on #1 contender match, but it'll be obvious, like, okay, this is kind of a pivotal match here and there, so it'll make sense when we get there, I believe. I say that because we don't really have it fully worked out yet who the challengers will be for some of these. The title matches are weird stories compared to actual stories because we can work those out months in advance, but who's the champ? Oh, we'll find out when we get there. Okay, who's their challenger? Oh, okay, we'll find out when we get there. Build, so it's a weird thing, but it's the prestige. It's about main eventing WrestleMania, the showcase of the Immortals. Hell yeah. That is all I have, BeerMe. Do you have any announcements for the chamber or anything else?
Nope.
Okay. So we're good. So let's go back up here. Boom. Royal Rumble. The picks page is not there yet, but it is next week. Next Saturday, January 28th, I think is the day. It's right on my screen. It is not 2022. It is 2023, despite what my screen says. You see both years. Don't get confused. Don't time travel. It's 2023. Next Saturday. And it's an 8 o'clock p.m. show, 7 o'clock pre-show, 6 o'clock deadline Eastern Time. Please get your picks in. If you are in the Rumble and you do not get your picks in, your spot will be forfeit. And it will be given to the first reserve. So I'll throw that example I did last time out there. Let's say, BeerMe, that I don't get my picks in. Well, we need to replace my spot in the Rumble. Let's say I'm spot number 2. All right, who's the first reserve? I think it's Mad Elite Titan. He's number 2 now. And that will be revealed when number 2 is revealed. Because we'll know at deadline what that is. And say someone else no-shows. Say CT no-shows, and he's number 28. Okay, well, we need to do 28. Who's the next one? Okay, the next reserve goes in there. So it will be in the order of it. So, if that's the only 2 no-shows, we need to replace number 2 and 28. If we get 5 no-shows, we'll be going in order. So it sucks, but please get your picks in. We don't want to have to go to the reserves. We did have to last year, but we didn't the first year. So please get your picks in. Please. Aside from that, we'll be saying it again next week. A lot about getting your picks in. Please. And then, of course, Vengeance Day afterwards. And I will say right off the bat, the Rumble write-up, thinking about it, will probably be like a Monday, Tuesday, which seems late with the Vengeance Day that weekend, but the Rumble's big. That's why I'm pre-writing as much as I can. So it's going to be fast going in that one. We're going to have a trenches, boom, in and out, we're going to go. So I'm ready for this chaotic insanity. How about you, BeerMe? You ready for it?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, sweet, good.
Got adrenaline in my soul, I'm ready.
Oh, he's in it. He's not even a surprise. It's back. It's going.
I'm okay with it. We all do. Like, come on.
It is.
Don't
It was.
get like we're so mad.
This is like a podcast preview. We're not even recording till next week. But honestly, him being a surprise, like hearing the pop when his music hit, would have been fantastic. But now everyone goes from like I hope he is to I know he is, and I can't
He's gonna
wait
be number
for it.
one,
right?
So win the whole thing.
God, he might be number one. He might be early. Let's all find who drew number one. And yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Anyway, we're tangenting here. It's been a half hour. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks, everybody. This is almost the top of the card. I'll tangent on that one. Top of the Card is our podcast. Top of the Card Pod on Twitter. It is Top of the Card, the wrestling one under my name, Scott Somerton. You find it on Spotify, on iTunes, on Google Play, on all those fun ones. You can listen to us talk for 2 hours last time about the best of 2022 for the last hour and the stuff that happened. And unfortunately, I mean, it was before the stuff with Stephanie to give you timing on it, and before the Jay Briscoe stuff. And we'll talk about that more on the next one, recorded at some point next week. Which, actually, thinking about it, is going to be a wild one before the Rumble. That's going to be crazy. But that is Top of the Card Pod. Thank you, everybody, for listening to that. We appreciate that. Please give your feedback. Please check it out. It's always fun. It's 5 of us talking actual wrestling stuff. But then this is Frontline League, the Frontline Prediction League. Frontline League on Twitter, Frontline Prediction League on YouTube. And that Discord channel down below on this very YouTube channel gets you into the Discord for both, where you can see the live event chat, talk actual stuff, do character stuff, look at music stuff, because there's a channel for that. Like when the Briscoe's theme was put up for free for download, we had the link in there. It's all good stuff in there. So thanks again, everybody. Have a good night.